Hello guys, I'm here in Hemavan in the north of Sweden. I just wanted to do a quick channel update. I've been walking the Kungsleden with my wife, and boy, what a fantastic time we've had. So I just thought this was a very beautiful place to just say hello from Sweden, and I hope I get the blessings from God and everyone watching this video. I don't mean any disrespect. I just really like churches in general, and this one looks very special because I guess it's a Swedish style, so I just wanted to share with all of you who believe in God and those who don't. And yeah, so enough of this environment, because I just want to be very respectful, but at the same time I wanted to share it. Soon I'm gonna start working on the video because I still have to fly back home, and so you should expect a Kungsleden video in about a month or so, because I have to edit like 3 weeks plus of footage, video footage, and that's a lot. And I want the video to look awesome, so it's gonna take a bit of a while. Boy, what an experience the Kungsleden is. I just really loved it, and my wife too. We had such a great time. You're gonna have to excuse me because I'm a bit sleepy and pretty wasted, to be honest. But you know, it's been super hot here. We only got like so with my wife, we only got 1 day of rain. Imagine, 1 day out of, I think we walked together something about 20 days. It's been super hot, record hot apparently. We are officially
Hot.
melting.
Yeah.
We are melting on the trail.
It's incredibly hot.
Oh my goodness. So just to say, it's our first time hiking in Sweden, and seriously, we really loved it. When we arrived in Abisko on the 16th June and we started, it was all like many sections were covered up by snow, sometimes up to my ribs. So you would just be walking on the snow, you wouldn't know when you were gonna fall next. So it was fun in that regard. It's a bit dangerous, I admit, I understand it's a bit dangerous, but we more or less knew what we were doing, so we didn't take any unnecessary risk other than the risk of walking in the snow and in those conditions. Then after that section, you go through a valley surrounded by mountains, like magnificent mountains, super tall. And put it this way, because I know like many of my viewers are based in the UK. Once I read one guy saying that 1 square kilometer of wilderness in Scotland is like 30 square kilometers here in Sweden. So I cannot agree more with that statement. It's just like the valleys is seriously like incredibly large, like super open, big spaces that I would say the north, only the first few days, that's bigger than England. It's just massive, really. Incredible, and it's constantly you walking either surrounded by these massive mountains in an incredibly super big valley, or otherwise you are in massive open spaces. It's what a feeling, man, seriously. So based on my experience in Scotland, it's really, Scotland has become a miniature of what this land is. So you have the wilderness, but it feels like compressed now in my memories compared to this. It's just that large. It's incredible. If you come here and you experience it, you'll see what I mean. And then when we left the snow and the mountains behind, man, such beautiful forests of different types, like incredibly pretty, to the point that I think I like the forests more than the mountainous area or section. So imagine, they were just so beautiful. So it's been an incredible experience. Then when it comes to hiking infrastructure, so if you come from the UK, man, it's like traveling in time. It's incredible. You travel to the future. Everywhere you find wind shelters, and I think all of them have a toilet next to it. Yes, you have a toilet. I don't recall myself going for a number 2 in the outdoors. It's just to that degree how you can always find a toilet, a hut, a wind shelter. It's incredible, really. It's just quite something. By the way, here that's the rule that you are not allowed to sleep in emergency shelters, and people do respect the rule. If you're willing to stay in huts, you don't need a tent. You can pretty much go hut to hut. Other than the most southern section, there for a few days of that, or maybe 1 day, depending on how fast you hike or for how long, you may need a tent. Other than that, I think you will need a tent actually. But other than that, no tent is required if you're willing to stay in huts and whatnot. Now, if you're not willing to stay in huts, where they have, you have a kitchen, you can cook, everything is arranged in a way that they tell you, go to clean yourself over there. Even for us guys, there's a specific place to pee, so that's the toilet and the pier, I don't know how to call it, I'm sort of trying to translate from the Swedish, but you just go there to pee. You know what I mean? The thought of everything is quite something. You need to see that. It's incredible. Of course, you can sort in most huts. You can also throw away your trash. And some of them they refuse to take some of it because they have the rules, whatever. They don't wanna whatever. If you're willing to camp, especially in the northern sections, oh my goodness, the camp spots that you find there is incredible. And on top of it, it's like they serve them for you. So you walk in, you see an amazing spot, and then there you have your flat, perfect pitching spot right there, made for you. No kidding. My guess is maybe they do it so that everyone use those spaces, so you don't sort of damage the rest of the nature, because everyone just pitches in those spaces. And trust me, those spots are fantastic, really. What amazing camp spots I've seen in the north. As you go south, what I notice is you have those areas, but for the most part they're not flat, and sometimes often they have roots from trees and whatnot, or rocks or stones on the ground. They're not that good, but obviously you can camp wherever you want, so it's not a big deal. The hiking experience is incredible. Everything is waymarked. You do not need any app, any GPS, whatever. It gets you covered. It's not like some hiking in Scotland that I've experienced, that the trail is supposed to be waymarked, but in quite a few areas, like the Southern Upland Way, quite a few areas, you're on your own. Out of the blue, there's no more waymarkings, or maybe you miss one and there's no more. Here, it's just like every 20-25 meters, you have a waymark or a sign or something that is painted in red or orange, and trust me, you don't need a GPS to work the entire thing. From top to bottom is excellently well waymarked. So then there's a path. There's these pieces of wood that they put on the floor so that you just walk more easily in more difficult sections. Total overkill. If you're used to hiking in Scotland, it's a complete overkill, trust me. And I found a lot of people telling me, oh, now it's gonna get, they were coming from the direction I was heading to. Now it's getting so wet there, good luck. Okay, man, I found myself so many times, where on earth is wet this trail? Coming from Scotland, I dare to say that, seriously, in an average day, one day hiking in Scotland is, 25 times more wet than the entire Kungsleden here, at least the conditions I have. Incredible, really. The downside, depending on the time of the year or the section you do, or if you're gonna do the entire Kungsleden, it can get crowded. For us, it was really fantastic, no crowds. So, but in July, especially in the southern section, I started to see how more people are coming. But for the most part, it's more like multi-day hikes. There's a lot of Swedish people, in my experience, that were hiking from Hemavan to Amarnas. That's it. If you want to do the Kungsleden, what I think is the prettiest by far, you go from Abisko to Quickjork, with whatever direction you want to pick. In our experience, walking southbound, we encounter like the wind on our faces often. Very strong winds! So if you walk northbound, probably the wind is going to be on your tail. But it may have just been our conditions. Maybe for you it's different. But yeah, Abisko to Quickjork. From Quickjork to Jakvik, it's also nice. It's pretty. But then you cannot, if you choose to do that, you need to go all the way to Amarnas, and I don't think it's worth it. So I think you get like 90% of the beauty, the experience and everything if you just walk Abisko to Quickjork and then just call it a day, really. My wife only got to walk to Amarnas because we took a tour to see a viewpoint called Skjerfe. She was missing one day, the day that we missed doing that, because that day we had to take a boat to continue on the Kungsleden, and because we took the tour, we didn't have time to get to the boat. That was at 5 p.m. the latest. We had to choose whether to rush the last section and do it in 3 days, but then I cannot film properly, I cannot take my time, or she will have to quit in Amarnas. And that's what she chose to do. She sacrificed herself for this movie, so I really hope it's gonna be worth it. And in the end, to be honest, we could have rushed it in 3 days because there wasn't so much to film in that section. I would say from Amarnas all the way to here to Hemavan, the only thing that is truly worth it seeing if you have walked the entire Kungsleden is just the very last section that's gonna take you 1 hour, 2 hours if you're slow. With mountains alongside, that's very pretty, but again, it's just a couple of hours at most, and the rest of it just really not worth it if you've seen the beauty before. And again, if you've walked like from Abisko to Quickjog, you have 90-95% of the beauty. Some people compare the north to the south, this section with the mountains. Oh, the mountain section in the south. Seriously, you can't compare simply because, again, it's 1-2 hours of goodness in the south versus 1 full week in the north. I'm sorry, you can't compare that. So the other downside of this trail, the mosquitoes. So it was great for us up to... We were about to really quit the trail here at this, when were we now? Well, we passed that now. Yes. So we took the boat service from there, and we were about to quit because of the mosquitoes. I don't know if you get to see them, even inside here in the shelter, there are quite a bit of them. And so, yeah, the mosquito situation is really bad. We came early to do the trail to avoid them, but this year apparently...
Yeah, but we were lucky we had 1 week without mosquitoes.
1 week without mosquitoes. So yeah, mosquitoes is really annoying. As you can see, even indoors we're wearing this. Now we're gonna hit the trail, that's why we don't kill the 50 mosquitoes. You know, a Swedish guy said he counted 380 mosquito bites on his body when they decided that probably they estimated around 400 mosquito bites, so then they stopped counting. And 380. Wow. Yeah, so, but we're gonna keep going. We didn't wanna quit the trail. We endured the Scottish midges, now we're gonna endure the Swedish mosquitoes. And yeah. The Swedish mosquito. Up to then, starting 16th June, we only had 1 evening of mosquitoes in one of the huts, and then arriving to Amarnas, there's like a day and a half before, maybe, let's put it this way, maybe some 30-40 kilometers of mosquito land. Seriously, it was horrible. The mosquitoes on you all the time. Of course, we experienced the Scottish midges when we did the Cape Wrath Trail in August, so we were pretty relaxed about it because compared to the mosquitoes, the midges are complete hell on earth. So the mosquitoes is like, well, okay, it's annoying and whatnot, but you know, you can't even, they're not in the same level. It's like hell versus a bad place, you know, just can't compare. So, but they're annoying, and it dominates your day on the trail. In the areas where you have mosquitoes, it gets to your mind, and the moment you meet somebody, the conversation always goes to the mosquito thing, the mosquito situation. How's the mosquito where you're coming from? I just wanted to say we had a fantastic time. It's awesome coming here. I loved Sweden. I love the Swedish people.
Hey, hur kan jag hjälpa dig?
They've been super nice to us, just like every time I went to Scotland. They were super nice to me in Scotland. So yeah, I mean, expect the video to be ready in maybe, I don't know, maybe a month, maybe 3 weeks. I'm gonna be working on it full time, but still it's gonna take time because I have a lot of video footage. Before I forget, I just wanted to say hi to all the lovely people I met on the trail. I miss you guys, like seriously. This trail, man, you meet I mean, usually when you go hiking you meet great people, but in this trail everyone has been so enthusiastic, so friendly. It was really, really nice. So I miss you all, guys. And so thanks for watching. If you have any question or comment, whatever, just drop it down in the comment section. And yeah, if you like the video, just destroy your mouse like hitting the like button thing. And what else do I have to say? The subscribe thing. If you want to subscribe to the channel, well, you know, I'm doing this type of videos, so subscribe if you like. See you all on the trail. Take care. Bye. Ah, holy smokes, man. Jesus Christ.